Vermiculture Part 2. Myself Dr. G. Suhasini from Pingle Government College. Today we are going to discuss about the importance and the various steps involved in vermiculture. Vermiculture is nothing but the culture of earthworms. The worms are either used to expand a vermicomposting operation or sold to the customers who use them for the same purpose or other purposes. Vermicomposting is the process by which worms are used to convert organic materials into humus-like material known as vermicompost. Vermicomposting process, in addition to its diverse beneficial to microflora, thus providing even more nutritive and biologically active biofertilizers. Earthworms transfer a wide variety of organic waste into valuable vermicompost by grinding and digesting them with the help of microbes which play a key role in biogeochemical process. Earthworm activities are found to enhance the beneficial microbes and suppress harmful microbes to an extent that they even convert infectious hospital waste into risk-free materials. Vermicompost possess remarkable plant growth promoting properties. Due to the presence of nutrients in the plant's available forms, such as nitrates, exchangeable calcium, phosphorus, and soluble potassium, in addition to the presence of plant growth hormones. This is the main reason for which the vermiculture is being practiced from ages. Today we are going to discuss the impact of worms on their surrounding ecosystem, biology of earthworms, in which habitat of earthworms, reproduction, selection of different types of earthworms, the management techniques in vermiculture are types of vermicomposting beds, composting based on their production, management of earthworms, materials for preparation of vermicompost, process of vermicomposting, methodology for production, precautions to be taken during vermiculture, and the last, benefits of earthworms. Impact of worms on their surrounding environment. Earthworms have been shown to increase seed dispersal as they eat the waste materials, including fruits, in the earth and digest and excrete the worm castings through which the seeds are being excreted out and they are being germinated into plants. How wonderful is the nature! Some of the earthworms are bioindicators of high concentration of heavy metals such as copper and lead in the soil. Some of the worms have been found to be sensitive to pesticides and herbicides and thus have been used as bioindicators of healthy or poor soils. Earthworms have also been shown to increase bioturbation. Most beneficial aspects of worms is the gas they produce. The biology of the earthworms, habitat, which includes habitat and habitats. Earthworms are found throughout the world. They are small, 10 to 300 long, tube-shaped organisms that live in or on top of the soil. They belong to Annelida and burrowing animals. The worms start their life as a cocoon deposited in the soil by parents. Worms can live for few months to 10 years. Earthworms consume biomass and excrete it in digested form, worm castings, or black gold. The casts are rich in nutrients, growth promoting substance, beneficial soil microorganisms, and flora. Some species of worms have the capacity to regenerate parts that are detached, although tests show this is an uncommon trait. It has regeneration power. All earthworms have both an males and female reproductive organs in a single organism. So hence they are known as hermaphrodites. They mate with another earthworms. The exchange of ovum and spermatozoa, with the latter being the most common. Once fertilized and grown, the worms will deposit the cocoons in the soil. The summer is the suitable season, August to October, for reproduction. Young ones hatches out of the cocoon in 2 to 3 weeks. Selection of different types of earthworms. There are 3 types of earthworms commonly used in vermiculture. That is red worm, Lumbricus rubellus, approximately, which is 10 centimeters, medium sized, cannot survive in ordinary garden and farm soils. They can thrive well in manure piles and compost heaps. Very useful in indoor culture because time required for composting is less. Turning the heap in is not required. File worms, Alabophora caliginosa. They are medium sized, attract compost heaps and mine manure piles from the bottom. Mix and turn the earth with organic matter and then retreat to the soil. Cannot thrive in active compost and are killed more easily than red and brandling worms. Reproduction rate very high and fast. Night crawlers, Lubricus terrestrialis, large sized, attack manure piles and compost heaps from the bottom, then retreat the soil. Prefer cool soil, therefore do not enter compost and manure piles. If they are forced to live in active compost, they will die and melt. Brandling worms, Eisenia fotida, Eisenia andri. They are medium sized, high growth and reproductive rate, used as fish bait for capturing the fish, can produce about 400 kg nitrogen rich compost per hectare per year. Management of earthworms. And the utmost care has to be taken during the vermiculturing. Selection of bedding. high absorbency in the soil, good bulking potential. The worms which we take, low protein, nitrogen content, that is the ratio has to be maintained, carbon and nitrogen ratio. The prerequisites, housing, containers which we have to use, bedding and feeding material should be taken utmost care. Types of vermicompost based on the production. Amount of production and composting structures depends upon the farmers, finance, small scale vermicomposting or large scale vermicomposting. In small scale vermicomposting, personal requirements 5 to 10 tons of vermicompost annually. Whereas in large scale vermicomposting, 50 to 100 tons annually, which is done in a large scale. It is being done in Canada, Italy, Japan, India and USA. Some systems use a window consisting of bedding material for earthworms to live in and act as a large bins. Organic material is added to it, although the window has no physical barriers to prevent worms from escaping. Due to abundance of organic matter from them to feed. Often windrows are used on a concrete surface to prevent predators from picking the worms. In some, worms show across the large mesh screens which forms the base of the bed. The red worms are surface dwellers constantly moving towards the new food source. The flow-through system eliminates needs to separate worms from the casting before packing. The flow-through system are well suited for indoor facilities, making them to preferred choice for operational in cold climates. Materials for preparation of vermicompost. The materials which we have to use, which are biodegradable waste, crop residues, weed biomass, vegetable waste, leaf litter, hostel refuses, waste from agro industries, waste from the biodegradable portions of urban and rural waste. Processing of composting. It has 5 steps. First step, process involving collection of waste, shredding, mechanical separation of metals, glass and ceramics and storage of the organic waste. Second step, pre-digestion of organic waste for 20 days by heaping the material along with cattle dung slurry. This process partially digests the material and fit for earthworm consumption. Cattle dung and biogas slurry may be used after drying. Wet dung should not be used for vermicompost production. Step 3. Preparation of earthworm beds. Concrete base is required to put the waste for vermicompost preparation. Loose soil will allow the worms to go into the soil, and also while watering, all the dissolvable nutrients go into the soil along with water. Fourth step, Collection of earthworms after vermicompost collection. Sieving the composted material to separate fully composted material. The partially composted material will be again put into vermicompost bed. Final fifth step. Storing the vermicompost in proper place to maintain moisture and allow the beneficial microorganisms to grow. Methodology for the production of vermicompost. It requires selection of suitable earthworms, selection of site for vermicompost production, containers for vermicompost production, vermiculture beds. The common beds used are bed method, pit method, cage type, brick type, lehigh type, simple bins and movable bins. Depending upon the economic of the farmer, he goes for different types of bed type bins. Here you can see the simple bin which is made up of cardboard. Second one, brick bin, which are made by the bricks available material with the farmer. Lehigh type bin, it is made up of wood and movable pen, which is made by net, which can be moved from one place to another place. Cage type bin, it is being surrounded by the iron mesh along the wood. The beds are also of two types, bed method making and pit method. In bed method, it is an easy method in which beds of organic matter are prepared on the ground itself. But in case of pit method, the organic matter is collected in cement pits. However, this method is not prominent as it involves problems for poor aeration and waterlogging. So, easy method is bed method. Here you can see the bed method. Composting is done on pakka or kacha floors by making beds of organic mixture. The beds are 6 into 2 into 2 feet size. This method is easy to maintain and practice. Here you can see the pit method. The pit is dug. Composting is done in the cemented pits of size 5 into 5 into 3 feet. The unit is covered with thatched grass or any other locally available materials. This method is not preferred due to poor aeration, waterlogging at the bottom, and more cost of production. Precautions. This is very important part of the vermiculture. The temperature at the beginning may reach up to 66 degrees when they are in heaps. So temperature plays a vital role in vermiculture. Hence, introduction of the earthworms should be done after 2 to 3 weeks. After the heap cools, holes should be dug and 50 to 100 earthworms should be dropped in each hole. About 100 earthworms should be sufficient to inoculate a 4 by 6 foot pile. After a few days, earthworms will begin consuming the organic matter and leave rich castings behind. An important aspect of this method is to maintain earthworm population on half of heap should be removed so that the remaining can be served as the base of the new heap. Benefits of earthworms: increase in agricultural production. Compost is great recycler of plant nutrition. Compost is reduces the chemical fertilizers. It recycles waste, drought production, stoppage of soil erosion, neutralization of toxins. And we have to see that the earthworms which live below the soil is not suitable for vermicompost production. Uses of earthworms: as a fish bait, for sewage sludge management, the earthworm treatment of industrial waste, reclamation of land with the help of earthworms, use of earthworms as food for animals and humans. In 1996 Summer Olympics in Sydney, Australia, the Australians used earthworms to take care of their tons and tons of waste. So we have to know the importance of these eco creature, farmer's friend, and develop vermicompost in our own houses and gardens.